Hey, folks, we are live tonight. It's the Wednesday night open chat here. I'm Dave.
I'm Ron.
And good to have everybody back again. Once everybody comes in, we got a nice little background tonight, Ron. We got the hockey rink from Action PC Hockey I threw in the background.
I like it, even with that logo.
Even with the logo, yeah. But it's just the idea that we have hockey on the screen.
There
and
you
that's what
go.
we're doing
It
right
makes
now.
me feel cool.
It does. It does. So it's our Wednesday night open chat. Trying to see what everybody has been up to today. Hopefully things are going well for you. We really hope. I know we got some of our UK listeners that might be tuning in. I guess it's midnight in the UK
Good
right
morning.
now. Yes, so it's midnight, and I didn't realize it was. I hadn't really thought about. I knew about the time change, but I didn't think about it. But yeah, so hopefully some of our UK people will be back in. David and Gideon and stuff like that will come back in and say hi. Is everybody going? Robbie, hey Robbie. So you've been doing. I got to change this yellow. It doesn't look good on the background. But you've been doing the Summit series. Are you enjoying that? Tell me about it. I'm gonna go green. That's a little better. Match the North Stars. So Robbie, yeah, tell me about what you think about that series, the Summit series, because you started playing it on Action PC. I think you did.
Yep. And game one is a tie.
yeah, it was. It was. So we're a couple weeks without hockey. I had a sad moment today. There's a lot of sad moments. It's been up and down. It really has. Yeah. So what I ended up doing today was I took out my phone. And actually, it was last night when I was talking to my friend, and I went to the NHL app. So I clicked on the NHL app, and I was like, just for kicks, what they got going on? So they updated the app, and it says there's a pause thing. So you can hit the pause button. It brings up a bunch of games and things you can watch. So they're having some stuff you can watch on the app and on probably NHL.com. And what was sad is I went to scores, and it showed me the last set of games, which I think was March 11th or something like that. And when I went to scroll forward, it wouldn't scroll. So they took down the entire schedule.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah. So, hi, Sean. Good to have you here.
Yeah, I mean baseball. They're thinking for baseball, the latest, July 1st is what they're thinking of. Half a season.
Really?
81 games is what they're talking about now.
Yeah, they're talking about hockey now going into August. Once they get going.
Yeah.
So, and Robbie says Canada had a chance to win it with a power play, but squandered it.
You would think that they would need to go and do some sort of training camp to get back into shape, even if they decided to ditch the rest of the regular season and go the next counting game would be a playoffs. You just can't expect them to go from not playing to game one of a tournament, right? I mean, they'd have to go back and do some charity games or something to play themselves back into shape.
Yeah, they couldn't just say, "Hey, here we are." So there's got to be at least a couple of weeks of a training camp or something, and that probably goes for everybody.
Yeah, I mean the NBA certainly. When we looked at the standings a couple of weeks ago, I think there was like one playoff spot that might have been for the 8-9 or whatever that might have been in there. But yeah, there's no way now at the end of March that you could go through if they came back next week, which they're obviously not, that they'd have to be some sort of recovery period.
Right. Hey, remember we were talking the other night, Tom Brady, creamsicle uniforms, throwback uniforms. Remember we about that? And I said something about the helmets.
Yeah.
Ironically, today I read an article that the NFL is changing the rules for next year, for 2021. Okay. And the rule right now is there's only one helmet per player. I think it is.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's it just says there's a one helmet rule. So that's why they can't wear anything that is above the chin strap. So anything below can change, pants, uniforms, whatever, socks. But if you want to, you can't wear a different helmet. So that's why. And I don't know when that rule came in, 2010 or 2011.
No, I mean
2014. I forget if it's been recently, but they said there's only one helmet. So you pick a helmet for the year, and it's a safety reason. So they must design a helmet to you to fit you, and that's it. So they're not going to design two helmets. But I guess next year they said that there's going to be a 2 helmet rule. So you could have 2 helmets and one for a throwback. So that's why they.
Yes.
So we talked about that. We wasn't sure, but I saw it was an article on ESPN. I saw somebody had shared it on social media, and I go, "Oh, this is what we were talking about." Yeah. So next year, not this year, but which would have been great for this year is to see Tampa creamsicle with Tom Brady. That would be one of my favorite quarterbacks in my uniforms of any league is Tampa Bay.
For 2-year contract.
He's got 2 years, so maybe next year.
Yeah, he's got 2-year contract. So,
but it'd be great for this year, though.
Absolutely,
that's what I really would like. So,
yeah.
So that's on the table. Still talking some Tom Brady stuff, and Robbie says, like how it turned out. Well, it was a tie. I mean, so that's fantastic. That's what you want. I mean, my series was nuts. I had 3 1-goal games, and then I had 3 blowouts and a couple of 2-goal games. So I mean, it's mine was all over the place. It really was. That my and you can see the video I did. Me and Ron did last night. So that was fun.
Yeah. And you don't want Canada winning the first couple of games 9-1, 8-1 anyway.
Yeah, you want to see how, my series was great. Russia stole the first one, Canada won the next 3, and then Russia stole one and the whole bit. So, and oh boy, I got to stop blocking some people. Hi, Tom. There's no Tom here. Tom's been traded to Tampa Bay. Thank you so much. So.
Oh, no. See, they said hi to each other.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, funny guys. You guys are all funny guys.
Oh, I love the Avi.
The big roll. He's got the big roll.
The toilet rolls, yes.
Supposedly that's coming back in stock now. Every day people are posting, hey, I found toilet paper here, found toilet paper there. So
yes,
hopefully
not like there was a shortage of toilet paper anywhere.
No, there wasn't. This is when everybody puts it in their garage and they're solid. Yeah, there's none left. So
I think they joked about this either last night or a couple nights ago. Jeff in 2050 finally opened the last roll of toilet paper from Christmas for 2020.
Yeah, well, I told you my neighbor's house got TP'd, didn't I?
Yes, you told me that bad joke.
My neighbor's house got TP'd. His house is now valued at $1 million.
Yeah. Friend of mine growing up made a Thanksgiving dinner last night and just showed this beautiful turkey. Oh my God, it looked good. And so I commented back to her, we will not be over for dinner.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and Tom says it's 2-pack. That's what they should do. If there's a roll of, 4, a roll of 6, whatever it is. Obviously, if it's the big honking 20-pack, just one. But yeah, they need to ration it because people are being stupid about it. People just get stupid. So I'm not a big fan of like telling me what to do. But in this case here, you need to tell me what to do because you need to tell others what to do for stop being such idiots. So if they're going to just 2 rolls or 2-packs, fine. Then there's plenty for everybody. So let's stop being an idiot. So
yeah, there wasn't an obvious answer for that. So let me explain for those of you who can talk about this now. You want to talk about this a little bit later, Dave?
Yeah, go ahead. So you were playing a baseball game today, and you had something weird happen.
Stream on my channel, and between the 78 Orioles and the 78 Angels, you can catch us at noontime pretty much every day for a live baseball game, just to tie you over. Dave avoids us like the plague because it's not his sport. And today we got through the first 5 innings, and Nolan Ryan was on the hill for the Angels, and he was cruising. He'd given up a homer to Lee May, but he had struck out 10 through 5. There you go, Ray. There you go. Now, you throw that with the whoopie pies from last night, you're going to make him all jealous.
Well, the thing is with toilet paper, now back in the day, 3 weeks ago,
yes.
3 weeks ago, when I was doing toilet paper, I was cranking it out like I was on The Price is Right, spinning that wheel,
Like
now
now
when I take toilet paper off, it's like I'm cracking a safe. It's like,
so
Hi, Larry.
Ryan was cruising right along. And in about the 5th inning, Baltimore, I'm running the Angels. I always play the home team, and the computer plays the road team. And so the computer starts to steal. It gets really aggressive, stealing the backup catcher with a 30% chance of stealing the base. And over the course of that in the 6th inning, the computer tried 6 stolen base attempts.
So they were stealing practically every time they get a guy in base.
They get a bloop single. They tried to steal it over to second. At one point, they bunted. Now, Earl Weaver, manager of the Orioles, was the big fan of the 3-run homer. Didn't want to steal. And so I'm chatting with Dave earlier, and I look, and the computer settings are average. They're average for every team, pretty much. And so it had to have been a glitch. It just, in all the times that I've streamed a game, I've never had a game glitch quite like that. Is that new for you? I'm seeing that crawl.
Massachusetts and California.
We're through April 15.
They just moved it to
with
May.
a friend of mine north of you in New Hampshire today and asked, when are you expecting to go back? And she says, we're not soon. So, so five stolen base attempts and 6 batters. And it's like, nope. That's
something going on. If they're getting that aggressive, trying to turn singles into doubles and bunting and stealing every time.
I would take the singles into doubles, but anytime there was a runner on first base, the computer would try to steal.
What I would do right now, if I were you, maybe not right now, but when we're done, is do a copy of that season right now. And that way, if it screws up, maybe you can save it. Because remember that happened with your football season.
It really killed the football replay to do that.
Yeah, it did. So you want to make sure that you go and you do that. Because I did that today, by the way. So any you guys know, I'm playing the 1899 Cleveland Spiders.
Precious season that it is.
Right. And because somebody here in the chat said you need to play the 1899 Cleveland Spiders. That's a great baseball thing. So I bought the 1899 season and I started playing it. And I was showing on the game hounds today, I was showing them the season, but because I already played a game, it wiped out the season. Meaning that I couldn't show the actual stats. Because in this game, I'm going to show you this right now. It shows you the actual stats of what happened. And then once you start to replay the season, it resets it to 0 and shows your stats. So what I did is I copied the season. So I had the one game played, and then I went back to the original season and I erased it, and now it all comes up. So let me show you guys this. So this is what I've been playing for let's see if you guys can see this at all. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Let me put that on the full screen. There we go. Okay, so this is the baseball game I'm playing. I'm playing this is the 1899 season. See down in the right hand corner, it says 1899. And as you can see, the Cleveland Spiders were 20 and 134. They were 84 games out of first place. That's how bad the Cleveland Spiders were. So many of you people know I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can see, behind me here, once the screen comes back, I have the Buccaneers logo hanging up there. In fact, I got my Buccaneers hat for my birthday too. So I like the Buccaneers, and they were terrible in 76. And I like the Golden Seals, who were terrible. So someone says, how about a baseball team that's terrible? So you can see the teams in here, and they're different. The Philadelphia team is the Phillies, and the Cincinnati's the Reds. But the other teams are different. It's the Boston Bean Eaters. It's the St. Louis Perfectos.
They became the Braves. Brooklyn, obviously the Dodgers.
It's the New York Giants. It's the Chicago Orphans. It's really crazy stuff there. But so I'm playing Cleveland here in that replay right now.
They finished 35 games behind the next team on the list. That's terrible. Robbie, the game never saved because I stopped it. So there's no corruption there. I know there's a patch. I'll put in the patch and we'll see what goes from there. And it's surprisingly enough, not to bog this down too much, but the Orioles somehow attempted 130 stolen bases in 1978.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot. They weren't very successful. So having them steal a base in the game is not horrible, but not to that. And so, yeah, hopefully we don't get the same situation where we were with the football season. I still got to post the Super Bowl onto YouTube, but
that was a fun game. I like that Super Bowl.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
So everybody in the chat, what's everybody doing for fun? Is anybody stuck at home? Is anybody working? I've been out of work now coming up on 2 weeks, and it's probably going to be probably a minimum of 4 or 5 before I'm looking at work again. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I thought about looking into the Uber Eats driving thing where I could deliver food to people's houses. Just for something to do and maybe make a little bit of part-time money. I'm not sure. I never really want to be a delivery guy, but I mean, at least I'd be out of the house doing something.
Out of the house, and you don't even have to talk to anybody. You pick up the food and you just drop it on people's.
But I would imagine that there's so many people out of work right now that they probably gobbled up most of those jobs. So.
No, they are desperate. They are absolutely desperate for work.
Tom played Clue. Tom, we were talking about game night. Once this is over, we're gonna get back to game night so we can play some more Fuse. Fuse was a real fun game that we played at Thanksgiving. So, and I got that, and I got a couple others too that we can possibly play too.
Because you don't have a lot of people who are laid off. They have kids, and they really can't be out and about. You just have the dogs. Did you see the thing I sent you today, by the way?
Oh yeah, about the dog not to get walked anymore.
Yeah, so I sent Dave a picture, and there's a dog on top of the kitchen cabinets going, You've already walked me 120 times today. Stop it.
Yeah, I saw the one that was a little puppy that was laying on a deck, like sacked out on a deck, and he's just like 20 walks. I'm all set, So that's all people do. Everyone's out walking their dogs twice a day. I see people coming by my house. I'm out once or twice a day with my dog, depending on the weather. Today was a little chilly today, and there was no sun, so I was cold. So we just did the one walk today, and then I've already recorded a show, so I didn't feel like doing any more.
Nope. Yeah. Vermont went under the safe at home is what they're calling this. They're not calling it a lockdown. And essentially for me, it's the same thing. I haven't been out since last Friday, but if you have an essential job, you can go to work. So my wife goes to work, and I'll get into the grocery delivery fiasco because that turned into a fiasco today. Not a fiasco, but just
you got to start pre-planning everything you do nowadays.
Absolutely, and I'll get into that. And so our Dunkin' next door that Dave's been to, you can get curbside from there. And so it's supposed to be 50 here tomorrow. Twinkies. Ooh.
Now we're talking food.
So the things that Sarah and I were doing before have not been changed. They have made it very clear that this is as voluntary as possible, and they're not going to be checking people on intersections for where you're supposed to be. Because one of the things I did say to Sarah last night was you probably should have your name tag at least available if anyone questions why you're out. Because
show me the papers. Show me the papers.
Papers, please. Papers, please. All right. So talk about planning. So we ran out of I bought my wife a rice cooker for her birthday, which is July 4th.
Now, is that a Japanese motorcycle?
Is that a Japanese motorcycle?
Oh, that's a rice burner.
Oh, you got me looking at the screen going, no, it's a package of Twinkies, you idiot. He's ruining his own stream.
It's about time somebody else besides you wrecks the stream.
Yeah. Don't make me stop the stream. So we had some rice in storage, and it wasn't something went wrong, and so some of it was good, and the rest of it wasn't put in the container, so it was bad. So we're trying to just keep the staples and essentials there, and so I sent her out for some rice today, and we got it. Paid way too much for it. She wore a scarf and she wore gloves, and the people at the store had masks on today, and it really is kind of creepy. And so
it is. Yeah.
It's so, I don't know what possessed me to check. And we both like rice. So possessed me to check, but I went to the same place that delivered our groceries last week. And instead of having same day as we had last week, today being Wednesday, it was Wednesday about 11:30. The next available delivery time, Dave, was Saturday night at 6.
So if you order today, Wednesday, you got to wait till Saturday.
Wait till Saturday. Now, again, we're, for the most part, fine. We had planned ahead, and this was pretty much looking for, okay, what's available, what's not available. So in order to use this service, you have to buy $35 worth of stuff, which is not that difficult to do. And so we put stuff in the cart. We have most of what we wanted to picked out. I have till Saturday to change whatever. Fresh fruit this time. We stocked up on some breakfast stuff. And so, again, we'll now be doing this 1 week at a time. But now, to try to match on her day off being Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I now got to start looking on Monday or Tuesday to start planning on what we're going to shop for the next week. Again, we can figure it out. It's not horrible, but on top of everything else,
it's something that you got to start thinking in advance. Stuff you never had to think 3 days in advance for. We're thinking about sending her out because my wife's in her 60s, and so they're like, anybody over 60 can go early. So we're thinking about having her go, but I'm hearing that there's 25 or 50 people already in line. All these old folks.
Yeah,
but she's on the young side of 60. So I'm thinking she could like elbow a few out of the way and get up front.
Yeah, the one thing that they've been out of the last 2 times, I haven't looked for toilet paper. I haven't even been shopping for toilet paper or hand sanitizer. It's stuff that we already had. 2 times, 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 2 Tostitos.
Oh, the snacks are starting to disappear.
I got a bag of Utz chips
Mm-hmm.
because I've never done those before, and we're just trying to figure out just different things to eat. No, because on a lot of days I do fake nachos. We either have a can of refried beans. My mother made salsa. It's something I can feed myself. It's it's chips, it's cheese, it's veggies, and I can and it's just I can feed myself, and she doesn't need to help with that. And so she said, "You're out of chips today," and I said, "I I thought I bought a bag of them last week." She said it never came. And so I went to look today to put them in the cart, and no. I'll see what's there before Saturday. But that's just, there was plenty of Lay's chips and different kind of Doritos, but just kind of a strange thing to be out of was just plain tortilla chips.
The other night, when Ray jumped on the chat here with us, right, and he was on his phone, we get done and we chatted for a while after the show, and I was like, Ray, just get a webcam and jump on with us. Do you know nobody can find a webcam anywhere?
You mentioned that, yeah.
Don't go looking for a webcam right now. I mean, you'll pay 10 times markup on eBay right now. And he's like, he sent me a message. He goes, there's no webcams at Best Buy. I was like, what are you talking about? No webcams at Best Buy. No webcams at Best Buy, no webcams at Amazon. It's like that is because everyone's home, so everyone got a webcam to either work or chat.
I have a high school buddy who does IT, and he is slamming. I mean, business for him right now is through the roof because people are setting up to work at home.
So everyone's getting a webcam to do that. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, the silly things that we every day you take for granted that are there. Now it's really weird. So I've been able to catch up on some of my. I don't say shows. I don't watch a lot of TV. I like to watch a lot of YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that. I'd rather see creators do stuff than watch TV per se. But since I've had a lot of downtime in the last couple of weeks, so I started catching up with some of the things. I ended up watching that whole series of Hunters on Amazon, and I talked a little bit about that. That was a really weird show, Hunters. And then I went back to Man in the High Castle. I watched the first season of Man in the High Castle on Amazon. I really liked season 1, and then I started season 2, and I don't know what happened, if I just got busy or whatever, but I didn't get into it, so I never went back to it. Well, now they finished up. They did season 4, and I think that's pretty much it's going to end at that point. So I watched season 2 and season 3. Now I'm on to season 4, and I should wrap that up in the next couple of days. So I'll be caught up on not all what I want to watch, but some of the ones that I was watching there. So that's kind of nice, but that's my day. It's so weird. If anybody here has ever been unemployed, and it's been a long time since I've been unemployed, probably back to 95 was the last time I was really unemployed for longer than
25 years,
longer than a few months. Yeah. And I mean, and so it's really weird for me to do nothing, but it's amazing how when I look back on my day, it was get up, take a shower, have breakfast, watch a little bit of TV, walk the dog, watch a little bit of TV, have lunch, and it's 7 o'clock. And that was all I did. I didn't do anything productive today whatsoever.
Robbie, I would disagree with that. People need technology to work from home. And so you can, this computer actually that I'm using now is a Best Buy computer. And obviously you're not going to go poke around and shop for it. But I bought it online. My wife went and picked it up. And so it's one of those businesses or they can ship to you too. And so, maybe not be able to go poke around and get.
Well, I guess what Best Buy was doing, from what I heard, is that you couldn't go in the store, but you could order online and drive down and pick it up curbside.
Yeah,
so
curbside
a lot
service.
of places. We were talking about on the Game House. We were talking about how a lot of places are getting very creative with what they're doing because you can't have people gathering. So they're keeping 1 or 2 people in the store, and they're like, well, probably Best Buy, they'd have more, but smaller stores, 1 or 2 people, and you could say, hey, call them up and I want this, and they'll bring it out to your car.
That's how the hardware stores are going through, especially the local ones. You can't obviously go in and poke around, but if you know what you want, there is someone there. And in Vermont, there's a lot of mom and pop hardware stores, not necessarily where I am because we're the big urban area. We've got Lowe's and Home Depot. But you could go through and say, yeah, I need this, that, and the other thing, and they'll pack it up for you and meet you at your car. Or is
Mandalorian, that's Star Wars, right? I think that was that.
So.
I think that was Star Wars. I was like, oh wow, he's watching something on food.
Man. No, it's not. No? It's not Slice and Dice. That's what my wife watches. Discovery ID. Tonight on Forensic Files, her husband sits on a webcam all day and streams sports. She's tired of it. What happened when the puck hit the net?
Yes, they are.
GameStop is doing curbside. I'm surprised GameStops are still open.
They're getting in trouble. They stayed open way past when they should have, and in Pennsylvania, they lost their license to do business. That's how long they stayed open. So yeah, yep, that's Star Wars. Yep.
There was a message today from Dunkin' Donuts in Vermont, specifically saying, "Look, we're going to stay open, but it really is you're picking up. You are not sitting here in any way, shape, or form. Please download the app. Please don't use any cash. Please don't make us touch anything." Essentially.
Oh, really? Yeah. There was a huge run at the bank Saturday when I walked the dog, and it was like all these people in line at the bank and the drive-thru. So everybody must be grabbing cash. But yeah, you don't want to be touching cash either.
Right. Because we were offered, should you be getting cash? It's like, do you really want to be touching cash right now?
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, everyone's so paranoid about everything. Even last night, right? So last night, I did the show here, and then me and you did. We did the second one. So we did a hockey wrap-up show last night. So we were on for 2 or 3 hours, at least 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours.
9:30 before we were done last night.
And I got done, and my throat was really sore, and I'm panicking now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably got the virus. Somehow I caught it because I got a sore throat, and and I went upstairs and I was taking cough drops and all bit, and I was like, oh, still sore. I says, well, I guess I got to quarantine myself, and I took some cough syrup, went to bed, gone. Get up in the morning, no more sore throat. So it must have been tired from talking for 3 hours.
I keep a bag of honey lemon CVS sugar-free cough drops beside me, and you'll see me pop one every once in a while.
Yeah, and I get my little Altoids here that I take, and that probably the cinnamon ones. They burn. Oh, they're good, but they burn.
Oh yes, what are they? Seriously? What's their slogan?
Oh no, what is? Actually, it's funny. So I got the Altoids here, right?
Yep.
So it's Altoids cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
You know what's funny on the inside though? Uncle. Don't know why, but it's called.
They're curiously strong. That's
curiously strong. Oh, I can even smell these. You can probably smell these from here, right through the webcam.
Yes, the cat just woke up. So, by the way,
all right,
they have carbohydrate exchanges on everything now, and so I was looking at the back of the honey lemon cough drops, and 10 of those is equivalent to eating one fruit. And my first thought was, if you eat 10 of those sugar-free things, you're going to be in the toilet for 2 days from all the Xylitol you've just sucked down.
Oh, yeah.
That's a laxative, man. You got to be really careful when you're eating that stuff.
You know what was funny is I posted earlier. I don't know if I can find what I posted earlier. Yeah, this. So, no joke. When I was in the fridge this afternoon, I don't drink tonic anymore or soda.
Tap cola, what a beautiful drink.
So I quit probably over 3 years ago. I quit all sodas except for ginger ale, and if they don't have ginger ale, then I have Sprite. So I get rid of Coke and Pepsi and Mountain Dew and root beer and all those ones I love, right? So I just have ginger ale now because I like something cold, and I like that for my stomach. Okay,
you're not a seltzer guy?
No, I don't like seltzer or those seltzered water. I can't stand that. So I do the ginger ale, and I know it's got sugar in it and it's not good, but I still like to have one at night or one every other night, or whatever it is. And so when I was going through the fridge downstairs here, I was trying to find a ginger ale. I found out I still have Tab in there, probably 3 or 4 years old at this point.
So, I don't think I could drink one now. It's been so long. Tom, my eyes were red from the allergies. We haven't even been as warm as you guys have been down there yet. And I touch my face all the time on the sheets and stuff. I'm not touching with my hands, but.
Well, that's the thing too. So you start to get some of these symptoms of the virus.
Oh yeah.
And it's a cold. Like I've had a runny nose for like all winter. I walk the dog and I'm sniffing and sneezing and it's like, but it's all runny. It's just a cold. I've had it before the whole thing.
Cute little thing that's on my leg. That's not my pants.
Oh yeah, the kitty cat. Yeah,
the kitty cat. I'm allergic. It's a light allergy. It's not anything I could ever worry about. And so I wake up stuffy every morning. And so
really?
My nose doesn't always run, but I wake up stuffy every morning. And so what I started to do, especially before home health shut down, was I took my temp. And it's been very consistent, 97.5.
Yeah, they say to check that. So I've had no headaches and no whatever. And I'm trying, like I said, I'm not going out anywhere. I mean, to the store once in a while, but still, it's like there's the whole paranoid thing now that, I was walking the dog and some lady's like, "Oh, I'd like to pet your dog, but I need to stay 6 feet away from you." And I was like, really weird. And even my neighbor's going for a run tonight. And he runs by. It's like, "Yeah, hi, I can't stop." It sucks. It sucks.
It does.
That you
I
can't
feel like I'm gonna
people.
half a Facebook lunch and the other half a hug.
And so they said schools are canceled in May here around here. I imagine it'll be, depending where you are, it will be different.
Don't touch other people's surfaces. I mean, that's why they want you 6 feet away, because if you sneeze or cough, you're not going to be in the direct line of fire. For things like that. That's why
it will. If somebody coughs or sneezes, it will fall to the ground eventually. But you don't want to be in the firing line. It's like a cold or a flu. Somebody's got the cold or a flu, whatever. You don't want to get near them. They have that contagious period.
Right.
So you want to stay away from them. But the thing is that I don't like is that the media is cranking up the fear. All these new cases. Another person died. All these new cases, and it's like, well, how about all the people that had it and are perfectly fine? Why don't you talk about that? They can't talk about anything good. They're only talking about the bad
cases today.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a ton of cases because they're testing people.
Yeah.
Oh, I go. So here's should we listen to this? Should we listen to this?
Oh, is this your city?
Oh, I blew it. Yeah, I was gonna play the city message they called, so I screwed up. Hopefully they'll call back. Oh, here it is again. Let's see if we can listen to it this time.
All
right. So this is
your mayor.
No, nothing. I think I blew it. I think I must have hung up on him.
That or your car warranties expired.
I recognized the number from the city, and there's probably telling us that school's been pushed back till May. I bet you that's what it is.
Now is that going to be for the whole state?
I think so. I think it was I don't know if it was Boston or this, because somebody posted local that the school was pushed back. So, and hey Jeff.
Hi Jeff.
Thanks for jumping in. I caught your comment on the last stream. Thanks Jeff for saying that. And Robbie was saying, why do we need to put a tons of new cases? Yeah, I think what we want to do is find out that it's not going up. But the problem is that it's not like we've tested everybody and we can see we have a good. We can't see.
We need the number so we know when the peak is, and if we once we reach the peak, then we can kind of
coming back down. Yeah, but the thing is, it's like the more people they test, they could test me and they could say I have it, and I'm like I feel fine, and that's the thing that sucks about this virus, and they can test somebody else, and
right,
they're going to be.
And remember, the stay at home thing is so we don't infect anybody else. Prince Charles has it, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So, but they've been playing. So on the NHL app, they had all these games you could watch, all these old hockey games, and of course, they're all Montreal Canadian Cup clinching games. Thank you very much, NHL. Like, I'm not going to watch that. I'll go watch some basketball. Thank you.
All right, giggity good. So, a gallon and a half of cups for you, my friend. A gallon and a half.
Yes, it is. A gallon and a half, all from a time before we were all born. So, what is Steve saying here?
Postpone awards draft and scouting combine.
Yeah, everything's going to be pushed back. It really is. I was talking here last night.
Award until you have a season finish.
I think I was talking. Was it Ron? Were you on with me last night?
Twice.
Okay, so we were, and I was. It's all. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. So I was talking about. We talking about contracts ending, right? It's a lot of contracts ending like July 1st. So how cool would it be if they fired up the season in May or June or whenever it is, and they go past the point that somebody's contract expires and they can't play, or another team so the Maple Leafs don't make the playoffs, right? Austin Matthews' contract technically expires on July 1st, and one of the playoff teams signs him for a 60-day contract to play the playoffs. That'd be hilarious. Ken,
Kenny.
so just so you know, well, you can't see it from here, but I pulled out Hockey Blast and the season that I bought, and I put it on the table. So I took it off of where it was. I put it on the table to bring it upstairs and try to play it at some point. So it's getting closer to being played again. I do want to give it another go. Killer Nostalgia. You live in Edmonton, Jeff. Nice. Yeah. I have that North Stars jersey. I wasn't sure what to put up tonight. I had a couple to choose from, and I says, I'm going to put up the North Stars.
And Mr. Mike's here too. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, no, I did not see that. That snuck in there. Sometimes they don't come up in order. Sometimes they bounce around.
Yeah, no, that's why, especially the ones on Facebook. You saw people saying hi to each other before we would see it.
And so, we're just kind of hanging out tonight. So it's funny. Robbie started playing the Summit series in Action PC. That is such a fun series to play. It's only 8 games. Steve says he thinks it's toast, huh? Condensed. I don't think it depends how long it goes. I mean, if for some reason this thing drags out through June, I don't think they would start July and August, but if they could start in May or June, I think they would try to do something. What teams will I play at? Well, Ken, my issue with Hockey Blast, I talked a little bit. I know I talked with Ron a lot off the air. I don't know what I've said on the air, but it just feels like once you lay the players on the ground on the board, and you can see who has the skills, whether it's speed or I forget what their speed and shot and aggressiveness, whatever those words are, and whatever it is every time you do a check to see who has more speed and he has more agility, whatever those words are, you can see right before you even do anything who's going to win that scoring chance every single time. It's just way too predictable. Unless you roll the dice and it says specifically visitor gets the shot on net, every time there's a challenge, you know who's going to win it. And that's what made that game not fun, is because unless you were playing 2 exactly even teams, if you look down, you can see one team had 1 word, another team had 3 words, and they were going to win the challenge every single time. And then when it came to penalties, I didn't like how they did the penalties. I got confused with the penalties. It wasn't enjoyable. So there were just too many things in that game I didn't like. The whole momentum, keeping track of momentum, I felt was an extra layer of complexity in the game. I know it's supposed to add to the game, but the momentum I didn't care for. But as far as what teams would I play, I would have to play even teams. Otherwise, I know who's going to win, because I played a handful of games and I've had no surprises. It's been pretty much, I look down the table and I could tell you who's going to win every single time. And that's my interpretation of that game. How are the Cleveland Spiders? We were just talking about that. The Cleveland Spiders from the 1899 baseball season. I'm loving my Cleveland Spiders. I opened up with a couple of singles, and then I moved the guy to third, and on a fielder's choice, he scored, and it was 1-0 in the top of the first for the Spiders, and then they lost 4-1 to the St. Louis Perfectos. But the Spiders are fun. Sporty McAllister, come on, you gotta love Sporty McAllister. And I get 2 guys on the team. One guy is something Harley, and another guy is something Quinn, and they bat right after each other. So it's like Harley Quinn. I got Harley Quinn. That was fun.
Yeah,
so if you watch the broadcast I did, I know nothing about baseball, or at least nothing.
You learned nothing from me the last.
I've learned nothing from him. So
nothing.
I just had a fun time because I didn't take it very serious. I just real fun time doing that.
Jeff, thank you very much for that. New Action PC Football, April 23rd.
Oh, yes. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, we should talk about that, because I think.
Okay. All right. So do you want to read the email, or you want me to?
I can read the email.
Yeah.
Jim Stafford is a fan of spiders and snakes. It wasn't that wasn't what Tata loved him. It was the girl that he was trying to chase down. You fool.
I see. I just think it's really cool, because you know what I did is I put up that. I don't even know what ballpark I have. I'll show you. Maybe you guys can tell me what ballpark this is. So when I did the 1899 season, I just throw up this really, really old picture. Okay. And I have no idea what ballpark this is. You guys can tell me. So I'm going to do an exhibition game and just Okay. So,
Okay. Got 3 tabs open now.
All right, hang on a sec here. Let's go to.
You were looking for the DH. Are you serious?
Yeah, I know nothing about baseball.
My goodness.
Well, sorry. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can share my screen. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. So that's the stadium I'm using. I don't know what it is, but it looks really cool for $18.99.
That's a perfect field for $18.99.
I'm using that for every single team because there's really only one other picture with a sepia.
West Side was Brooklyn.
This is West Side, yeah. So I'm using it for every single one, and I'm like, you know something that
Kenny says Chicago. Okay, now I would trust him.
Okay, so but I'm using this for every team that I play because it looks really good. Because I forgot how to put in the fields in this game, right? And so I said, well, I don't really want to, put in a new field that looks kind of stupid. So I said, let me put in an old field, and then I tried to figure it out. But I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks kind of cool. So Kenny says it looks like Chicago. That's fine. I'm not really sure what it is.
Yeah,
and I was playing a game. The pitcher come up to bat, and I was like, okay.
Game at any point, and Dave's looking for the DH.
I was like, oh, the pitcher.
Clinton Parks was there. He had rolled over in his grave prematurely,
And he goes, there wasn't a DH until 1971 or something. I don't know.
73.
I was like, I just
go back to hockey, you fat. Go have another donut.
Yeah, Ken, I want to give the game another chance. If it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work. I think that's right. Cause there's games that I love, like the shootout hockey. And I know Rob doesn't like it. Rob's like, and he's just like, it just doesn't work for him. And that's fine. Cause I love it and he doesn't, and that's fine.
Not every game works for everybody. I love
it either clicks or it doesn't. But there's some things I really, really like about Hockey Blast. I really do. There's some things it does very well. So like I talked about before, I might go back and play that again and see if I can take the parts that work for me and make it a game.
Have you seen the Conan O'Brien Civil War baseball skit?
No.
Oh, you should go look that up.
It was baseball, right? I don't.
It's baseball.
I don't really care for Conan O'Brien, and I don't really care for baseball, so there'd be no chance of me looking at it.
You'd like it. You'd like it.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with baseball, really, but it's how you doing, Dave Little? It's people who recreate that era of baseball that you're making fun of right now.
I make fun of all eras of baseball. So anyway, so the Action PC football is what's it? April 23rd.
The 2020 football season is just around the corner at Dave Cott Sports. The 2020 edition of Action PC Football, the 2019 season, and our football's Best of the 1970s collection are projected for release April 23rd. Please take a few moments to view the exciting list of 2020 enhancements and new season releases. Important note, early bird orders receive a 10% discount on any football package purchased by March 30th. All past seasons and decades are also discounted for the sale, and all purchases over $100 receive an additional 20% discount. If you are like many Action fans, you are excited to see the new player ratings. All pre-orders for deluxe editions of the 2020 game include text files with an early look at the preliminary 2019 season player ratings. You'll receive an email when the file has been posted. Ratings will be posted approximately April 2nd, and we'll email you when they're ready to download. You like that?
Did you talk about the features while you were doing that? Because you kind of ran through it, and it just like was one big commercial, and I tune out commercials.
Exactly what it was, Edith.
Tell us about the features.
All right. Updated schedule game screen includes logos, team colors, and more. This is the one that intrigued us most when we talked about it. Expanded audible screen offers dynamic play calling at the I tried to get this so I'm not looking down. And it went up too far. Offers dynamic play calling at the line of scrimmage. Audible opportunities are presented based on a variety of factors: defensive formation, potential blitzers, coverage type, coverage depth, potential mismatches at the line of scrimmage, free plays when linemen jump, and other situations. Notice I'm not using my commercial voice.
And this is what we talked about. So if they're talking about expanded audible screen, now when you get into the line of scrimmage,
not done yet with that one. Sending a man in motion, playing from the shotgun, or risky defenses all increase the opportunity to call an audible. In addition, the list of audible play calls has been expanded to include more flexible play calling. I'm very curious about that.
Well, my question for that would be, because we were talking about how Brady and Manning would go up to the line of scrimmage and read a defense. So that's something you can't do when you're playing action PC because it's kind of X's and O's.
Right.
So is it going to give you like a little pop-up window or a little red flag that might say, hey, instead of running that screen to the left, you'd be better off with a pitch out to the right if you read the defense? I mean, I know they'd be kind of cheating a little bit, but I mean, is there anything that's going to give you any kind of indication that when you get to the line and you quote read the defense, you might want to do something?
I'd be very curious to see how they do that.
Well, isn't there a screen that pops up and says, "Are you sure you want to run this play?"
There's on if you go for it on 4th down, it will say poor play choice, which it's a default thing on 4th down.
I thought sometimes too it says, "Do you really want to run this play?" Even not on 4th down. There might.
I think if you try a field goal on 2nd down or a pooch punt or something like that, something that's out of the box, because everything else, the plays in the game, are the percentages of success. It tells you what they are. And thanks, Dave. I like the fact that he's finally not going to have encroachment be a dead ball foul.
Yeah.
Because if I knew that you have a free play, that the defense is offside, encroachment is a dead ball foul. And offside, I mean, if you know that you have a free play, wouldn't you just chuck the damn thing down the field? You can't get it picked off. It's a free play. And so that would be very cool to have. And I'm curious about some of the other things. We won't know until the game actually releases. And of course, that night on April 23rd, Retro Sports Network will take a live look at the game. Now, look who's coming in to watch.
It says trick plays have been redesigned.
Yeah,
too.
let me finish reading the rest of that. Expanded defense coverage, matchup box, customize your man coverages by specify. My cat has turned into Ed Sullivan. She is now off camera. I'm looking right at her. So she's getting blown on by the fan, and she's staring at me as I read this.
So it's a cat in front of the fan. You're allergic to the cat, and the fan's blowing the cat hair into your face.
Sacrifices I make for her. You could even specify receivers to leave uncovered and available to help in pass defense. Okay.
That's risky.
The matchup box also warns of mismatches, uncovered receivers, and receivers who are covered by a blitzer. In addition, the 2020 game engine increases I hadn't read this part, increases the effectiveness of double covering and blitzing. Okay. Trick plays have been redesigned to be more effective while maintaining their higher level of risk. Expanded quick sub screen. This was so big in last year because it was so easy to go through when sub. You just had to click the formations and just double click on the player. Displays an expanded list of possible subs along with more detailed stats and ratings. So no, you can't. Am I still here?
It's like a Godzilla movie.
Yeah. Oh my God, Kitty. Thank you, Emily. She's pissed. Yeah, Becky, you got to shave your legs.
Oh, that is too funny.
That wasn't it. As long as she didn't shut you off. So I suppose now when you go through and put in when you see me sub players on how the game is through the new thing, it just tells you average yards per catch or average yards per run. So maybe now it'll say it's a 5 receiver or a 6 lineman or something like that. New game screen menu options include easy access to each team's roster, lineups, game plan, and opponent scouting report. Ooh.
So it's if you get the deluxe one or the special one, it comes with 15, 16.
Oh wait,
17,
there's more special
and 18.
No,
No. I have 16 and 18, so I would get yeah, so if I got it, yeah, I would get 15, 17, 19. I'd get 3 seasons out of that, right?
New pass plays, yeah, you would. New pass plays include zone seam to attack frequent zone coverage and isolate man to take advantage of man pass coverage. Gameplay upgrades includes optional national anthems, weather icons, that's what you've seen in the baseball game, and more. Updates to the video chalkboard, maybe like not having plays that you can't figure out how the hell to call, along with new reports, and they can delete folders now in the game. Deluxe Classic is what you're looking at. The big 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 01, 89, 76, 59, 46, and Gloucester Foster is 2 hours delayed. The Deluxe is 59 and 76. Football's best of the 1970s, which is every team's best year from that decade. And he's throwing in baseball's best of the 70s.
Which that's pretty good for $20. So for $20 extra,
for $20 extra, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seasons.
So yeah, so I get. Well, I'm trying to think. It'd be better off if I only need 15 and 17. It'd be better off for me to get the deluxe and then buy 15 and 17 for $7. But then for $6, I'll get all those other seasons.
Okay, so the best of the 70s package that comes with the game from 1970. Baltimore, Dallas, Minnesota. He's a Dallas fan, man. 71, Dallas, Miami. 72, Miami, Pittsburgh, Washington. 73, the Rams, Miami, and Minnesota. And 74, Oakland and Pittsburgh. You can now recreate the Sea of Hands game. 1975, Dallas and Pittsburgh. 1976, Minnesota and Oakland. 1977, Dallas and Denver. A lot of Dallas here. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dallas. There's
78, Dallas and Pittsburgh. 79, Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, and San Diego. Now for the baseball,
that's a lot of good teams there in the 70s there. So you could actually
a lot of great teams.
You could play the 72 Dolphins and the 75 Steelers or something. That'd be fun to play.
But that's in a lot of his greatest team packages anyway. And there's not as many Dallas teams, I don't think. Baseball, 70 Orioles, 71 Pirates and Orioles, 72 Reds and A's. Surprised the 70 Reds isn't on there. 73 Mets and A's, 74 Dodgers and A's. So a lot of World Series matchups. 75 Red Sox and Reds, 76 Reds, Phillies, and Yankees. 77 Dodgers, Yankees, and Royals, 78 Red Sox, Dodgers, and Yankees, and 79 Orioles, Expos, and Pittsburgh. So it's not like the franchise decade sets where, hey, you're welcome, Kenny. Mike, you're bad. You are bad. So it's not like the new teams that they just released where you get every team best players by decade. I bought the 80 set. I haven't showed that off yet. But for the Red Sox, Dave, it was 86 Clemens. For the New York Mets, it was 85 Gooden. It wasn't a composite of the best players from the decade. It was the best players by their best season.
So we're getting teams. Now, I already have all those teams if I have the entire decade of the 70s, right?
Yeah, see, that's kind of a nice throw-in. If you just get the basic game, I thought it would be more like, okay, so if you looked at the best, let's say, Cowboy team from the decade, you'd have Staubach's best year and Dorsett's best.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what it did for the new stuff for the baseball. What you're seeing here for that is just a conglomeration of teams.
Oh, so I already have all those teams.
So you already have all those teams.
So I have all those teams. I even know all the baseball teams. So for me, I don't know what
really
one I would get.
But I will get the deluxe because I want the new season.
Yeah,
I don't need the
because for me, if you get the season,
a new one for me. I actually will. So 20 or 19 and 59 will be new seasons for me.
I might as well get that one because if I look at it for the $20, I will get
lot of seasons.
I'll get 15 and 17. So if they're normally $7 on sale, and so that's what 14.
And what was
And
it? Also,
that I'll get 59 in there. And I might as well just get the middle version. I always get the middle version anyway.
89, 76, 59, and 46. So you would get, do you have all the 80s?
I think so.
59 you wouldn't have.
No, I don't even.
And
Yeah.
46 you wouldn't have.
No.
So you'd get potentially 1, 2, 3.
I get 5 seasons.
Well, that's not bad.
you like the Salty Brine reference there, Kenny? Did he really change his name to Salty? There was a guy who did radio down in Providence on WPRO for years, and his name was Salty Brine. That must have been a stage name. But take care, Mr. Little. But yeah, he would do the school closings, and Gloucester Foster's closed. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's where that comes from. When I read a laundry list of things like that, I try to, So Cynthia Foster Gloucester. So there you go. Yeah, it depends on what you want. I'll get the if you do the pre-order and the upgrade, the $49 package is a $39 package. And so it's 10% plus your upgrade, which I think is 10%. So you would take 20% off the 70. You'd probably get that for there. I don't remember his dog's name. Flinner!
What's up?
Not much.
How are things going down there, Flinner?
I'm losing my mind, Dave. I'm losing my mind.
Everybody is kind of losing their mind. It's only been a couple of weeks, but it's like, boy, it is tough.
Yeah, not to mention, I went to turn the computer on to join in this evening, and my computer decides that, a couple minutes before 7 to do a 45-minute update.
Oh, yeah. Love that. I got a noon stream. No, we're going to update now.
I've done that too. It's like, I just need to go on and do a couple of quick things. It's like, oh, let me update for you. Oh, man. Or what's even worse is when you're on tech support and you're like, yeah, can you show me what's going on? And it's doing an update. It's like, but I don't want to lose my place in line. Go get lunch. Come back.
Your call's very important to us.
Yeah, I know. So Sports Time Machine wants 72 Dolphins taking on $79. Yeah, that would be a good one to do. That would be a good fun game. Although I think the Dolphins would cream the $79.
They could run though, right? When we played that game, they could run the ball well.
They had defense. The $79 had defense. Not a lot of offense. So Flinner, what are you playing?
My PlayStation has been co-opted by my 6-year-old.
Ah.
It's one version of a Star Wars game or another. I don't know. He's running through them all. I used to like Star Wars, and then my son liked Star Wars. Now I hate Star Wars. Dave, you remember how much we used to hate playing Battlefront? That's how much I hate Star Wars.
Oh, man. The Battlefront, we had a lot of fun for a while, but the problem is that some people got really good at it. And that one game when the Palpatine guy came in and his sparks are going everywhere, and he just walked through the map and he just laid waste to like all 50 of us. That was the last game I played for a long time. I was done.
And I got to imagine, how is that fun for anybody? Because as you recall, Dave, when we played Diablo, and as soon as we became untouchable, we stopped playing. Because once you became untouchable, it became no fun. So, like this guy walking around.
Yeah, we played this. Me and Flynn were playing this game called Diablo 3, and you play together. And I guess it's like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of game where you walk around with your character on the screen, and you get spells, and you get axes, and just a kind of a hack and slash game. And we had a lot of fun with it. And we ran into one of my friends, and he came in. Yeah, Diablo 3. Yep. And what he did was he made us so powerful. He upgraded all of our skills to maximum, and we would just walk around on the map and we would look at somebody and they would die. And I remember he did that when my wife was playing too. She was playing Diablo 3, and her character was super strong. And we went in and she walked into a room and we let her fight the boss by herself. And it was like a 5-second fight. It wasn't fun. It was just, we can't be defeated. We just
the way he upgraded us was we had to be with him, and he turned it up to the maximum. Like he turned it up to levels that I didn't know. Like the cool thing about that game is you can just continually press up the level of what you're doing, and never in your wildest dreams did you ever think you were going to get to like level 40 or whatever.
What the craziest thing about that is when we get done playing with him, he's like, all right, guys, I gotta go. He left. And we were just sitting there talking amongst ourselves, and our characters were just sitting there, and it was like, boing, level 100, boing, 101, boing, 102.
They couldn't keep up.
He got us so many points. The game couldn't keep up, and so it would level us up, and then realize that we had and level us up again. And I sat there for 3 or 4 minutes, going boom, 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 getting leveled up. It was something else.
Well, and when we followed him around, I didn't even see what he was doing. He was killing people so quick, it wasn't even showing up on our screen.
It wasn't fun.
He just said, "Stay behind us." So, and it was the last time I ever enjoyed Diablo. Whoever that guy was, Dave, you let him know he ruined. I don't even want to turn that game on now. I'm so.
I deleted it. I deleted all my saves, and I went back in, and I'm fresh now. I'm fresh on the ground, so I'm okay. So I can go back and play that game again and not have it ruined. So, but I was just telling Ron here. Last night we did a video wrap up. I did the you probably don't remember the 72 Summit Series between Canada and Russia. You probably heard of it. And I did that on the tabletop. I got a cards and dice hockey game that I play, and I played all 8 games out. And that was unbelievable time. Phil Esposito, Ken Dryden, all those guys playing for Team Canada, playing the Russians. So I played that out. That was probably more fun than some of the hockey games I played on video games. That was so much fun. I played that series out. I don't know if you might like Stratomatic hockey or something like that. You're a hockey guy. I don't know if you like stats at all.
I do. One of my buddies does that with soccer. He's a big what's the European leagues? I don't like soccer, but whatever he does it. He lives in Ohio. We lived together for a while, and everything was soccer, and I wanted to put a noose around my neck and jump off something, but. To each his own. Seriously, though, and he does that. He does that with some, with the soccer leagues, whatever the Premier League. He's got all kinds of stuff like that. And he starts talking about the stuff, and I was like, "Oh yeah, interesting."
Kenny, were you asking me if Skinny Pancake could close? I think they obviously can't do their cart, but I think they actually have a restaurant, and just like everything else in Vermont, you can try and call an order and pick it up at the curb.
I don't know what Skinny Pancake is. I don't think we got one up here. If we do, I haven't found
it's a place that does designer crepes, and they started as a cart on that street that I took you on.
Yeah, savory
and sweet, and they sold so well they actually got enough money to actually start a restaurant.
Oh, nice.
Of the cart, but no one's doing anything like that up here. I mean, they're doing them, but you're picking it up at the door,
and which is fine as long as you can still get some stuff. Because I know we got plenty of frozen pizzas here and stuff that we don't really want to eat, but I mean, in a pinch, we have it. But so
how much DiGiorno can you really eat?
Well, I grabbed 2. I put 2 in there. Yeah, we haven't had them yet, but they're my emergency stash for whatever. When you get tired or whatever. Tonight I had cereal. I had cereal tonight. So, that's fine.
She made me a huge thing of my mother made chorizo. Not didn't make it by hand, but she cooked up some chorizo, and so for lunch I had the last of the nacho thing, so chorizo and cheese and salsa and all that. And by the time that Sarah got here for dinner, as Dave puts up the Twinkies again, I really wasn't hungry, and so I was trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. And I said, you know what, eggs and toast. So I had an English muffin for dinner.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's but what
just to know that you can order food out.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely a big deal to the mental part of this. There really is.
Last weekend, we DoorDash, I'm sure they're doing it in your area, Dave, in your area, Flinner. The local restaurants, the non-chains, they're not charging a delivery fee for. So if you got like from Denny's or Five Guys, it's $4.99 or $5.99 on top of everything. But your local chains, they are not charging a delivery fee for. You tip the drivers rather well for risking life and limb to go out there. But and so instead of getting Five Guys, because Sarah said, I want a cheeseburger. So we would have normally gone to Five Guys. We went to a place we got delivery from a place called the Burger Bar. I won't tell you where it is. It was good. It wasn't the best burger I ever had. They gave us a ton of fries. And so this weekend, again, we will pick a local restaurant. Oh, you want this? We'll get that, and just it's the least we can do to try to.
But if you do it through DoorDash, is it 6 guys?
See, Kenny Castro and I are really brothers from separate parents because he had eggs. I had a whole wheat English muffin, Kenny. Yes, it would be yes, 6 guys in a computer terminal.
Yeah, I think all these things now have an option to leave it at the door, right?
Yes, they started that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's amazing how so many companies just, to survive have to
Get creative.
adjust. Yeah, you got to definitely get creative.
You missed me talking earlier. We did the grocery delivery last week, and it was the same day. And for a variety of reasons, I looked today, and I couldn't get an appointment to deliver groceries until Saturday night, and that was at noontime today. So we ordered groceries 3 days, perishables. We're good on a lot of things, but the perishables we had to order 3 days in advance. And I'm sure next week I'm going to have to go on Tuesday and say, can I get a delivery for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday?
Yeah, there's somebody posted that I was ordering dog food from Chewy's or Chewy, whatever that is.
Chewy.com, yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, there was like a couple weeks out, and it's like, so just be prepared that you're not going to get it in 2 or 3 days. So the
new normal.
Yeah, for a while, I hope it doesn't go on too long. Hey, Tribe fans in here.
I like the fact that I can get groceries delivered. That we probably would do on a regular. It was $4 extra. It wasn't that difficult. It was a $35 minimum. Saves my wife having to go out there, and as long as we know the delivery window.
That's the way to do it, because I do a lot of shopping here for different things. We used to have the Stop and Shop Peapod for a while, and it was kind of good. You pick what you want, and that's it. When you go out on your own, it's like, oh, I'll get this. Oh, I'll get that. Oh, I'll get that. And you spend twice as much because it's just impulse buying and seeing, this looks nice. And
my wife is going, oh, I want this. I want this. No.
Yeah.
No.
Who says no to their wife? Especially when you're stuck in the house 24/7 with them. Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
She's an essential worker, Flinner, so she actually gets out.
Okay, good.
She's not stuck. She works in healthcare, so she gets to go out.
And there was a funny cartoon.
I'm sure she's thrilled.
She got her 2 90% cocoa bars that got thrown in there. I'm like, okay, I'll get you those. That's fine.
There you go. Did you see there was a cartoon today? It was like week 2 of quarantine. There's some lady with a wet hair, and she's like, hand me the blow dryer, and a guy hands her a gun.
Oh,
that's about where we are.
And it's been 2 weeks. I mean, it's been 2 weeks, really.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. It's been Monday for 2 weeks.
I forgot what day it was this week.
I think it's been Saturday.
Oh, I wish it was Saturday. That was the week between Christmas and New Year's. It felt like Saturday.
It just feels like Saturday. Like, all right. Well, except you can't do anything except stay home.
Right.
Which is nice. Once every 2 months, you get a day and you just kind of veg out. Well, I don't need one for a while. I'm good.
What was funny was today there was the wife's still working part-time, so she come home and she says, she's like, there's nobody out there. It's like, she goes, we should go do something, but there's nothing to do because there's nobody out. And it's like, well, that's why there's nobody on the roads. There's nowhere to go. I mean, seriously, I'm sitting home today. It's like, what am I going to go to CVS again just to get out of the house and whatever? There's nothing open except for bare necessities. So there's no need for me to go out unless I need milk or a prescription. Just there's nothing. I can't go play hockey. I can't watch a movie. I can't go to Blockbuster Video and rent the video cassette.
I haven't been able to do that in 20 years.
I can't go to Friendly's and sit and have a fribble. I mean, there's nothing I can do.
A fribble. Wow.
So Flinner, I don't know if you saw my new Tampa Bay hat.
Oh God, you're gonna show this again, aren't you?
Yeah, I wore this last night. Pretty good, huh? It's got lights. It lights up.
You done yet?
Yep, I'm done. It's actually a nice hat. It's like all red, the Buccaneers logo. It's not bad. I don't like the new Buccaneers logo, but this hat comes out pretty good.
Do you know what that poopy head did to me last night?
What I did?
You. He's playing around with the lights on his hat, and he's aiming them right at the camera. And I always look at the person who's talking because that's just what you do. And that thing just got in my eyes. Don't you
Did
dare.
you happen to see what I was wearing during my 1899 Spiders game run?
No, what were you wearing? Oh, really? That's cute. That's cute.
That is the
I like that.
San Francisco Spiders of the International Hockey League from the mid-90s. And for some reason, I hung on to it. It's a good thing I did, so I have a Spiders hat when I play my Spiders game.
I just started messing around with the hut in the new NHL. Did you get the new NHL, Dave?
No, this is the first time in years that I don't have an NHL game. I just didn't pick it up.
Yeah, well, I didn't pick it up last year. I just those games they're so copy and paste, and the way they update rosters and things now, it's just buying it every year. So I've kind of gone to it every other year. And
Dale, the virus cannot be caught in the air. It can be left on surfaces. You can get coughed on. You can be in contact with people who.
It's not going to hang around like a balloon. Yeah.
Right.
What's up, little dude? So, no, I thought it can get caught in the air. That's why they're asking you to give 6 feet.
Yeah, but
right?
It's not going to sit there.
Right.
Oh, like just hang in the air.
Yeah. So
I guess if you walked through the exhale of somebody else.
Yeah. But I mean, if I walk down the street, it's not going to be like a stream of coronavirus sitting there waiting for the guy to come through. You know.
Quick, go over there. There's Gardner with the whaler hat. Go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the PlayStation open?
The PlayStation open. That was your Star Wars kid, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
He's not. We're talking about him,
he's not even looking at us.
He's been in the house for 2 weeks with a kid. He's probably ignoring the kid.
No, it's like the shame of it is I feel so bad. It was his birthday yesterday, and it's like you want to make it as fun as you can, but what can you do? I mean, obviously we had some things for him, and one of the things we had for him was a Star Wars Lego game, and that's why I've been co-opted mostly because that's all he wants to do is play Star Wars Legos, and it's the last thing I want to do.
I was talking about plopping on the couch and firing up a big adventure game like The Witcher 3 or Skyrim. One of these games that took me months to play just because it's like I got the time to sit and get deep into it. You know, it's either that or read a book. I might read a book, but I've been playing a lot of these little sports sim games and they've been fun. But I'm itching for something bigger now that I have the time.
Well, I used to play Civilization. You ever play Civilization?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, and the computer version, and they used to have like a PlayStation version that you could play in 2 or 3 hours, but they have a computer version, and it just takes weeks and weeks and weeks, and you're still in the middle of these games. So a buddy of mine, the same buddy that came from Ohio, we've talked forever about playing, and where do you ever get that kind of time as an adult? And we started saying, all right, we'll do it, and then they decided that he was going to be off because he's in HVAC, and then all of a sudden they deemed him essential, and he went back to work. So we're not playing. But I should play. It's a fun game. But man, it's just one of those all of a sudden you look and the sun's set, and you're like, when did that happen?
Yeah. Start playing at 6 at night, and the wife comes home at 11:45. What'd you do tonight, honey?
Yeah.
I remember my single days. I spent a whole weekend like that playing SimCity. This is back when SimCity was like, SimCity 2000 or whatever it was. And I lost an entire weekend. At the end of the weekend, I literally took the disc, snapped it in half, and threw it in the trash. And said I couldn't do it. It was so bad.
You've heard of the stories of true story. You've heard of the stories of the people that have lost their jobs and marriages because of World of Warcraft. Yeah, World of Warcraft.
Oh, they meet people in this and stuff?
No,
it's play it forever.
It's one of these games. World of Warcraft is one of the. I've never played it, but it's one of these games. It's like a Diablo type of game that you play online with everyone.
Right,
MMO.
Yeah.
It's an MMO. So you play with tons of people, and the thing is though, is you got to keep your character going to keep them leveled up. Otherwise, you fall behind. So picture like playing Diablo, trying to level up your character. But if when you turn off and stop playing, everybody else levels up, but you don't. And so you call in sick to work so you can play with us to keep your character leveled up. And then you blow off a family dinner so you can play and that's what people doing. People were quitting their jobs because they didn't want to lose their character. because they got it so far and they're like, I can't walk away. I need to do all this stuff in the game or my character's going to fall behind or I'm going to lose money or however the game's designed. And people needed to go to the therapy over this stuff. That's how addicting this game was. And they were like, I can't leave the game.
Yeah, that's how I felt playing SimCity years ago. I just literally went, oh my God. Well, there's a world outside of these walls.
There are games that I have binged that you dream about them and you dream about how to beat them or whatever. Football Manager was one of those, or City Skylines, or something like that. That you just your brain gets so involved in trying to get with the mechanics that those are scary when you're in the middle of the night dreaming about playing a game.
Well, I had a friend that played just like a silly online game, a phone game, and it's the same thing. He would set an alarm in the middle of the night to get up. So the 4-hour window or whatever it was, he had to hit the button. It's not even like just one of those hit the button type games, like because that's the way phone games are. They're not really that interactive. Yeah. It's just hit the button. Oh man, I just couldn't imagine that.
Well, I always say when I started playing like the Sega Genesis games, those are the big ones for me. And then as I get into the Xbox and the Xbox 360, I always said that, boy, it's a good thing that
my Sega Genesis.
There you go.
There you go.
I always said it's a damn good thing that these games didn't come out when I was in junior high and high school because I never would have went to school. Yeah. When I was in junior high and high school, we had the Atari and the Intellivision, and I don't even think the Nintendo was out yet. So you couldn't play a season; you could only play single games. And I played these things, until they threw me off and threw me to bed. So I couldn't imagine something like today where you can play a full season, you can create your own character, the graphics are through the roof, you can play online. I could see myself skipping school every day to play that, but back in the day it wasn't there, And the Atari as a youngin'. Yeah, we all had the Atari as a youngin'.
2600.
What was your favorite game? You know what? One of my favorite games was for the Atari was Human Cannonball.
Really?
Yeah. And how Human Cannonball worked is you had the gun over here, and over here was the tower. Okay, and you had to shoot the guy into this little tower here. Okay, and what it would do is you would have to adjust the angle and the speed, and sometimes the thing would be closer or further away, so you'd have to adjust. So the idea was to shoot the guy up and then have him like a basketball shot land in this thing. But it was all about angles. And there was some game modes that had a lot of wind. There was some game modes that did different things. So it was really, really, I think you got 3 shots to get the guy in it. So you took the first couple of shots to feel out the angle and the speed. And then finally you try to get him in there. And I always liked that. It was very fun. Human Cannonball was really fun.
If Adventure wasn't your favorite Atari game, I don't know what you were doing.
Oh, I have Adventure. Oh, yeah. Adventure is fun. I never played Adventure 2. I guess there was an Adventure 2. Oh, he says he likes River Raid.
I remember there was a Superman game that I liked. I mean, I was young when Atari was popular. I guess I was more the Nintendo generation. But, I mean, I had an Atari before I had a Nintendo, but I was, the only time I remember losing as a kid was, playing Zelda, Link, those sorts of games. To me, it's still the greatest game of all time was the original Zelda. When that came out, it just changed the world for me, for gamers.
No,
yeah,
you do. How bad is it?
Flinner, that's for you.
What's that?
Adventure.
Oh, Adventure. Yeah, I actually have that on an emulator somewhere.
So, how bad is the ET game? Ice hockey.
Ice hockey for active. These are my 3 Atari games that I picked up at a flea market that I just have on my desk for decoration.
We had a pool game that I could play because it was just kind of point and shoot because I can only hit the one button at a time. I like that one, and a skiing game that all you had to do was use the joystick.
Some of the ski games are fun.
Yep.
What was that?
So have you played the ET game?
I've played it when I was a kid. I haven't played it recently. It was horrible. It wasn't fun. I couldn't figure it out. It was just dumb.
I mean, that's the one that they bulldozed them and
Buried,
buried them in a landfill in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, because it was terrible. They made a ton of these things, and there's a whole story behind that, by the way.
Yeah.
Of how they rushed it out in what 4 or 5 weeks, and the guy's like, I can't do it, and he did it, and it was just terrible. So, it's no wonder why it was a terrible game. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? You wanted me to create this game and design it and code it in a few weeks because you wanted to get it out for the movie. Of course, it's gonna suck. But
Tom, Genesis is where it was at. I mean, that was when all the sports games came, right?
NHL 95.
Yeah, the original Madden. Sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. Do you know what I picked up? Hey, check this out. You guys talk for a second. Let me show you what I picked up the other day.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, Dave was talking about being in grade school or high school and being able to play an entire season. That's when those games first started. I remember.
I was out of college by then, but yeah.
I didn't own these game systems. I owned a Nintendo, but I didn't own a Genesis. And I remember going to Blockbuster, as Dave talked about, going to Blockbuster. You could rent the whole system. That's how I had my first PlayStation. That's right. I used to rent the system for the weekend.
I rented a Nintendo from my youngest sister, or one of those. She played. It must have been a Sega. She played Sonic the entire weekend. That music,
I like the Sonic when you could play 2-player, and then they do the battles. You could play the levels against each other. That was my favorite. That
was kind of fun. So so a few weeks ago, before the virus hit, I went out with a buddy of mine. I picked up a couple of games here for Sega. So I picked up this.
Ooh, Timmy Brown.
Is that Moss?
No, it's Tim Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 98. Tim Brown.
Raiders, yeah.
I picked up Battleship.
I wonder how that is on a Sega.
I don't know. And then I picked up a couple of football games I've never heard of.
High Impact.
Super High Impact.
There's no.
It's an arcade game, so I don't know if you can see that. So it's kind of based on an arcade system. So
Super High Impact. Fight for that one, Dave.
And then this one here.
Unnecessary Roughness.
Unnecessary Roughness. And look, there's not even any logos on the helmets. If you can see that.
But the players are there because it's got the Players Association logo. So.
Okay, yeah. So Unnecessary Roughness 95. Geez, I even got the disc and the book in there.
Wow.
And you want to know the weirdest game? I actually picked this up. This is the weirdest game.
I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to pull out.
I still got to set up my Genesis at the computer.
That's what she said, by the way.
This is the one of the oddest games I picked up, and you probably never heard of it.
Pigskin Foot Brawl. Nope, never heard of that one. Was it like a Blood Bowl? Oh, Jerry Glanville's Pigskin Foot Brawl.
Jerry Glanville Pigskin Foot Brawl, and if you can see the picture at all, I don't know if I can get that up there.
Here, make yourself full screen for a sec.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay.
You can see how it's
kind of like a Blood Bowl, isn't it?
It's like a medieval type of game.
Yeah. It's like a takeoff of Blood Bowl. Did you ever play that?
I've seen it, but I haven't played it.
It's kind of like a role-playing football game.
But yeah, so I picked up these weird football games along with Battleship for the Sega, and some of them are only. I mean, one of them there, the Super High Impact, that was $9 because it's kind of rare, but the other ones are $3-4. It's like I'll get it. But the Glanville one, I actually found just the game, I think it was, at a store, and then I had to buy the case and the manual separately on eBay.
Really?
To get a copy, but it's like a $40 or $50 game if you find it. And I think I paid less than that with all the pieces, so I could sell it and make $5 maybe. But yeah, I've never played it. Supposedly it's pretty bad. But
play it once to see if you like it.
Yeah, I will have to stream it on here. Kenny said there was no computer game that he's growing up in the late 60s. Yeah, Kenny, I don't know how many sports games they had on punch cards, but
they had the great one, Apollo Guidance Computer System Simulator. Remember playing that one a lot. Don't crash on the moon. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of women's soccer manager that you tried to make a joke at me. You're so bad, Kenny. You're so bad.
Yeah, I said I remember playing games on my Apple IIc computer.
Yeah.
Is that Jordan versus Bird? Bird versus
No,
Jordan?
no. I mean, it was a simple, like the lemonade stand, and
Oh, I had that.
yeah,
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. Yeah, those kinds
James
of.
died of dysentery.
Oh, the new one now. Someone sent me a picture and it says you've died of the coronavirus.
That would be what the 128 trail, wouldn't it?
Oh, maybe.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give in to my son's desire.
Yeah, good. We're gonna probably jump off here too. We've been going about in 90 minutes now. So, Flinter, thanks for coming in. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Take care. So we'll go back to our hockey screen here as we wrap it up here. So yeah, thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight. Just having another nightly chat, just trying to just deal with things the best we can. And it's been fun just coming on here and chatting and saying hi to people and the whole bit. And it's always interesting to see who's in the chat and see what people are doing.
Can you buy Apollo Guidance Computer Simulator? That was the first version, was Bird versus Dr. J. I had that one.
Commodore 64, that come out in what, 82, 83?
Mid-80s, yeah.
So I had one of those at the house.
A ton of games for that.
I think that's where I played Bird and Jordan.
Yeah, that would have been for that. Those were, yeah.
Play remote control for my father. That's a good game.
Change the channel.
Go change the channel. Okay.
I think he's talking about the women's professional soccer manager. It would have been a good bit. One of your Blue Pill Diaries.
They come out with a new hockey game. Hockey Manager, not East Side and not Franchise. There was some other hockey manager game that come out.
Really? East Side I liked.
But it's more just, it was more managing. It's like, I don't want to do the managing. I want, that's why I like the Action PC, so I can do the broadcast.
It's perfect for you.
Action PC is perfect for me. Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Tom, thank you. Tom, once this is over, we're going to get together. I got some great games. Oh, Tom, I got a great game. I don't know if I could probably show you the video at some point. I picked up a game I got two games. A football game from 1940.
Oh, yes.
1940 football board game. And it's based on a college football. You just roll the dice and see what happens on the chart. I don't know if there's any defense calling right. It is but it's from 1940. So what's that? 80
years old.
80 years old. Yeah. And I got a
shape too.
Yeah, and I got a racing game, a car racing game that you just roll dice and there's 6 cars that go around the track and you just move it according to the dice roll. And what is that one, from the 60s or the 50s?
Late 50s, early 60s, yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to bring those over.
Made in Boston too, wasn't it? That was a Massachusetts company. You had a couple of local games. The golf game you pulled out from 1950, which is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah,
but Boston or Springfield or something like that. No, Springfield, I thought it was.
I think, well, one was from Boston, one was from. So the golf game was Springfield.
The racing game is from Boston.
The racing game is from Boston, yeah. And the racing game is really fun. It really is. And it's just simple dice roll. And what's really unique about the racing game, and when I bring it over, you'll see, it's got picture a lollipop, okay? And in the tube of the lollipop are all these different colored balls. And the 6 balls represent the 6 cars. So you tilt the lollipop upside down, the balls come out of the tube into the circle part of the lollipop, okay? You spin that around, and then you flip the lollipop back up, and the order that the balls drop into the tube is the order who goes in that round.
Have you shown that one off yet? I know you've shown off the football game.
Yes. I got the video of the race car game. So picture, so you shake them up and you spin it, and okay, who goes first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth? Everybody rolls the dice and moves. You shake it up again, and then you see who goes. And that's really neat. So every time you roll the dice, someone else has a chance to go first or second or third or whatever it is. Yeah, that's really weird. So, but yeah, everybody, thanks for coming in tonight. We're gonna sign out. Hopefully somebody will do a broadcast tonight so I can kick back and do some of my puzzles and watch somebody else do a show tonight. I'll do something tomorrow. Are you on at noon tomorrow?
I'm on at noon tomorrow. I'm going to try to play that baseball game again.
Oh, you're going to replay that baseball game? That's going to be interesting.
I think I got to check if the DLC for City Skylines is out. I'll be on tomorrow night with that.
Okay. And I should be on tomorrow night. Maybe I'll come on a little early tomorrow night. So if you start at 7, 7 to 7:30. I'll start at 6 or 6:30. We'll see how it goes. See how I feel tomorrow night. I might do some golf tomorrow. I might kick back. I want to try to play some Hockey Blast on the table. And I want to give that another whirl, see if I can get back into that at all. And if not, then maybe I'll I'll play some golf and stream this. I keep saying I'm going to set up my Sega Genesis down here and stream that, and it's just a matter of finding the time. Since I'm not doing anything, I still don't have any time to do it, but I will find time to do that and have some fun. So anyway, so this has just been a Wednesday night open chat as we just kind of get through this really murky time in everybody's lives, and hopefully we've made your night a little bit better. If you're sitting home with nothing to do, instead of just watching the same old reruns, you can watch a couple of boobs like us just kind of ramble on for a little while. And hopefully we've entertained you and had some fun. And I keep rotating my pennants. I don't know if you can see one. So what I have now, I did the let me see. I did the North Stars and the Ottawa Senators. I put those up tonight.
Oh, nice.
So I added a couple things there. I got my North Star jersey. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a nice green too. If I crank it up, you see how nice rich that green is.
That's a classic jersey too.
That's a good green jersey. That's the year that I like. I don't like the original ones, but they had no black. It was just green, white, and yellow. I didn't care for those. They looked very dated. But these North Star jerseys here, when they finally added the black, that was just a little bit of an outline. I really liked it. And so anyway, all right. Again, thanks everybody. Oh, Ray, what'd you miss? Hope you didn't miss it. I don't know, Ray. Hope you didn't miss it.
He was
he was in it for a while. So I'm not sure where Ray is. He's roving the country right now. Yeah, I think he says he does sales. I think he's a secret agent. I think Ray would be a secret agent. He's like, yeah, I gotta go here, I gotta go there. I'm meeting this guy here.
The railroad. Being a
taking pictures of trains. He's probably yeah. I wonder what's on those trains. He's probably a secret agent.
Shh.
Yeah. All right. We won't say nothing. He's still here. How can I talk about you if you're still here? Go away.
How many ex-girlfriends can you say that about?
I don't know. See, I told my ex-girlfriend if they come in the room, don't chat. Say nothing.
That's right. How can I miss you when you won't leave? Yeah.
So anyway, all right, everybody. Thanks for putting up with us again tonight, and I'll be back on tomorrow night. I hope if all goes well. I'll probably be a little bit.
I'll be a little bit later.
Yeah, Ron will be on. Okay, so we'll figure it out tomorrow night because Ron wants to do that City Skylines on Twitch, and I might come on a little earlier tomorrow night to do my chat with everybody. I'll see if I can drag
my dinner hour, so I can't do that. Well, it could. But.
Well, we'll see. We'll play it by ear tomorrow night, but I'll try to jump on at some point. I might do some golf in the morning or in the afternoon, and show off a couple of courses that I got, and then we'll have our normal chat. Which
we're taping Digital to Dice on Friday.
Yeah, Digital to Dice will be on Friday. We're going to tape that on Friday, and we're going to be talking about: do you keep stats if you do a sports replay? Do you keep stats? And obviously on the PC, you kind of keep it for you, but
but still, how much do you pay attention to them? That's a good topic. So
yeah, I could do that too, because I kept stats on my season, on my project, and it was fun. It's a lot of work, and that's what we'll talk about. And that's what we'll talk about. So we're gonna sign off here, Ron. Thanks for joining me.
As always, a pleasure.
Hopefully, you won't get any more snow up there.
No, it's supposed to be 50 up here tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we're done with the snow. At least I hope we are. So anyway, I'm Dave. Thanks for tuning everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you probably tomorrow night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.